What is up, trade family? It is your girl GC the Trader, and we are back with another breakdown, y'all. Before we get started, I just want to welcome y'all to my page for all those who are new. And please, please, please like the video and click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the page. And first off, happy Friday. November 14th, 2025. It is the last day of this trade week. So I hope everybody was able to catch some great setups, make some money. And also, it's Friday too. We know how the markets be. So I hope you were smart and strategic and protected those accounts funded and live. So today's breakdown is going to be over the live trade I was able to catch during the New York session on NQ. And also, I'm going to be breaking down two of the forward test trades that I caught during London session today before the New York Open. And also, we're going to be going over timing today. And also, we're going to be talking a little bit more on psychology, but how working on your psychology can also change your mindset on losing. So, with that being said, family, thank y'all for watching, and let's get to this breakdown. Just take it all in, trade family. Okay, you guys, let's start with the goal for test trade that I caught during the London session. So, as you can see, I had this hour key level that I had marked up. Let me go out. Yeah. This was the initial level I had marked up when I came into the charts. I seen this and I marked up these three levels here. So, zoom back in. So I set an alert to let me know when price broke past this key level spot right here, because I was on NQ marking up my charts for the New York session. So when price alerted me that it broke out of this section, I did enter in early. As you can see in the note, I believe I put that I got stopped out. Yes. So yes, in the note, as you can see, this was just an ICC concept trade. It was not a supply and demand. I was specifically trading the ICC a method by itself, just to see if I can trade it without having my supply and demand confluences, because that is the actual strategy that I do trade. So I usually try to test out the ICC concept by itself during slower moving sessions like London, and then a part of Asian session. I like to try it out just to see how it would play out if I was just trading that concept and that concept alone. But this is what I had marked up for when I downloaded it to my computer, so when I go back I can know exactly what method trade this was as far as the strategy I took. So when I first entered in, I did jump the gun. When price retraced in, I took that as a pullback. So when price came back out, I entered and ended up getting stopped out immediately. So, I kept my head. I just told myself, okay, now we're going to wait for the proper checkpoints that we use to even enter into the trade if we was using ICC. So we waited. I waited for the pullback, and then once price broke again, then I entered, uh, risking. I think the first time I was risking 50. The next time I gave it a little bit more wiggle room, and the risk was 85 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was 85 for that risk. So yeah, and as you can see, it hit perfectly. Just a minor pullback, and then I think when it finally did hit my TP, I think I was $115 in profit. So that's what my stop loss was. So um, it was a win-win, no risk trade for this one. So this was just a forward test that I caught on gold with just the ICC method, just to warm myself up for the markets. And then we're going to come over here to the NQ chart. And this is the forward test session trade during London that I caught here that ended up getting stopped out. but then my TP was hit immediately. So yeah, with this trade, it I had my chart marked up as I stated with the ICC concept because this was the initial setup that and key levels marked up as I stated when we were looking at gold that I had marked up that I was going to use to take any New York trades if NQ presented itself. So this trade was just a supply and demand. It was no ICC. It was no any of those type of things like the other gold trade we caught. So this trade on NQ was just supply and demand, and got my break, waited for the retest, entered, stopped out immediately. And I wouldn't even say stopped out immediately, but well, yeah, this one was stopped out immediately right here. Yeah, I knew I was reading it correctly. Yeah, this one was stopped out immediately, and I think it was because I accidentally entered buys when I meant to enter sell. So I ended up reversing my position, but then uh, I thought it didn't reverse. So when I moved my stop loss, I ended up moving in the wrong direction, and it ended up taking me out the trade with a profit of $7. So I re-entered into the trade, same candle, but this time I entered right here. I think the first time I entered it was right here for a buy, and I entered in the same spot for a sell, and I was only willing to risk $50 on this trade. So as you can see, price stopped me out at the 50 after it gave me a nice little pull in my profit area. Did do some ranging before it initially hit my TP. I mean my stop loss. My apologies. But then immediately after it hit my stop loss, it ran to my TP because my TP was right here. So I just took that L. That was the first trade I took, and the gold trade I showed you, that was the second trade that I took of London session, and won the $200. So yeah, let's get to this actual NQ trade that I caught live on my funded accounts. Let me reset it. So these were my key levels I had marked. I ended up marking this key level later on in the session. I'll explain why I marked that one. But this was the two key levels that I had marked up. I only had two marked up. And when price broke past this key level, that's when I went to my 4 hour, and that's when I added this support slash key level right here, just because I noticed that price was breaking past the last strong key level that the hour had available. So I went down to the 4 hour just to see, okay, where is a possible place that price could be trying to hit. And that was the initial zone that I went with, and that's where price ended up hitting. So we're going to drop down to the 15-minute. When I came into the charts, I was initially looking for sales on NQ. Everything was saying sales. If you go down to the hour, this is how far we was underneath from when price had dropped. What day was this? Thursday. So this was the last spot price was at on Thursday. And then boom, price just shot all the way down. So I was nowhere in my thought process looking for buys today. I was initially looking for sales based off of the zones and key levels I had marked up, but I'm working on and learning how not to trade with a bias, going into the market with an idea and allowing the market to let me know if it's going to respect that idea or if it's going to give me a whole new idea. So that was my initial thought process coming into the markets that NQ was selling off. So, and when I seen it doing this retracing, I was like, okay, it's just pulling back because we're still very much in sell territory. I was like, so yeah, this is just a pullback. Didn't know we was gonna be pulling all the way back. So yeah, I went down to my 5 minute, and then um once this was the London session trade we caught, but once price started ranging, I started keeping track of my higher highs, lower lows. I even marked up a 15-minute resistance because I do watch the chart for my 15-minute. So I even marked up this resistant level where price tapped and then boom, tapped within it but never broke past it. So I marked up that 15-minute resistance area and was just keeping track of my higher lows, I mean my lower highs and my lower lows. And then when price made this new low, I was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely selling off. Definitely selling off. And I believe this is a 4-hour key level here that I had marked up. But yeah, I was like, okay, we're definitely about to sell off. But then it's like, what time was this? Like the 5-minute candle after market open, it just, I don't know what happened. It just, the candle went from whoop whoop and it just shot up. It broke through the equal highs that I had marked, and I was like, okay, we're still in sell territory. So I'm like, okay, this is just a pullback so price can continue selling. So once we got to a range at this previous key level that it took price a minute to break from, as you can see, I noticed that this was a strong sellers here. So when we got here and started ranging, I was like, okay, did the same thing I did down here, start keeping track of my higher highs, and lower lows. And I end up marking up this zone right here because I was like, okay, this is, ooh, my apologies, y'all. I didn't hit the camera. And I was like, okay, this is a key level and price is giving me a demand off of a key level. Now, initially, I could have used this range right here. I could have used that as a level, did this as a minor breaker structure that tapped into a key level. And then this candle, this doji bullish candle, it tapped into this zone. And I could have very much got in right here at the break of that. Let me see. Definitely would have. It's Friday, so I definitely wouldn't want to be risking any more than about 100, about what that's 110, so that's about $55. So, and I definitely probably would have rolled it to this area right here. And the only reason why I would have rolled it to this area right here is because I had a alert that if price broke through here, this is the only way I will start looking at buys for NQ is if price broke this key level up here. And the reason why I said that is because this was the last spot where buyers had a kind of like pushback attempt to get back in control, and the sellers was just crazy. So I was like, okay, it's strong sellers here, but it's also some buyers here. I say, so if price can break past here and manage to stay above here and give me a retest, then that's the only way I'll be looking for buys because I wasn't comfortable looking at buys down here or up here. You get what I'm saying? So initially on the 5-minute, I could have took that. That would have been a demand setup within the key level, but I liked it better coming off of this bearish doji, because this candle is the candle that initially gave the push, and it had a gap right here, so I definitely liked that as far as zone and price coming back to retest that. So I said if price came back to retest this area, then I will get in. As you can see, price never came back to retest it, and I didn't enter on that minor breaker structure because I did not have that zone marked up. So when we got to this next key level that I just mentioned before, when price alerted me, I was like, okay, it did a little back and forth. It did some range action. When it made a lower high and a higher low, I was like, okay, it may be a trend change. We may be getting back into the seller's territory. But then after this lower low, price just, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fight the market. Clearly it's telling me it wanna buy. So let me get out of this sell bias. And I said if price can re-enter, well, re-break this key level, I'm gonna enter. Now, Wednesday I had a very bad psychology day. I let my lack of confidence, fear stopped me from entering into two very good setups. And I think that shook me up Thursday because when I tried to attempt to live trade Thursday, the same thing happened again. So that's why I didn't record a video Thursday, because I just needed to use that day to focus. And I told myself that when I come back into the market Friday, that if everything checked out, I was stepping out of my way and I was going to enter into the trade, and I wasn't going to give my mind or brain any opportunity to tell me why I shouldn't get in. So I said that if price re-breaks this key level, I'm entering back in. And I entered, and I think I jumped the gun a little bit because, man, 26 seconds I was stopped out of the trade. But I couldn't even be mad. I wasn't even mad at myself because I followed my plan. I said what I was going to do today. And yeah, even though it was a $50 L on both of my fundeds, today was a W. Today was a W day for me because today wasn't about making money, and I could have re-entered into this trade because the crazy thing is, as you can see based on the entry candles, I actually entered into this trade on my paper account and it actually worked out. But when I entered into the same trade on my funded account, it did not work out. And as I said, I entered into on my funded accounts, I entered immediately after price broke. Like immediately when price broke, I entered into my funded account trades. But something ended up going on with my Wi-Fi, and it wouldn't allow me to enter into my paper account trade until like 3 minutes later. So this entry is 3 minutes after my funded account entries, and this trade hit. So that's why I initially said in the intro that this I was going to be talking a little bit about timing, because literally a 3 minute time difference determined a winning and losing trade for me today. Like I entered into the trade I think at 10:20 on my funded accounts, and my Wi-Fi didn't kick back on until 10:23. And because I had already initially pressed the enter button into the trade on my paper account, as soon as the Wi-Fi cut on, it entered me into the trade. But it entered me into the trade 3 minutes late, and that ended up being the perfect entry for this setup. So that's how I was able to win $107 on my paper account, but lose $51 on both of my funded accounts today. So this entry was literally all about timing for today. But the psychology aspect of it is because I had two back-to-back days where I allowed psychology to keep me from even entering into the markets and even participating. Today was a win because I followed my plan and I said I was going to get out of my way, and that if it aligned with my plan, if it aligned with my rules of my concept and of my strategy, that I was going to enter. And I entered. And today wasn't about making money for me. Today was strictly about execution. And for me to get out of my way and stop allowing that fear to keep me down, and a loss doesn't define my worth. It doesn't define my ability to trade. This right here let me know, like, yeah, you had the right idea, but it was just all about time, and you were 3 minutes early. So it's just like, yeah, trading is literally all about timing, and a loss doesn't define who you are as a trader. It does not define your skill level, how you handle that loss. And today is an A+ for psychology. I didn't allow anything to stop me from entering into this trade. So when I lost that $50, I lost that $50 with a smile on my face because I participated. I didn't let fear stop me in the fact that I made money. It just wasn't on my funded accounts. I'm cool with that because I had the right idea, right direction. My timing was just off, and I didn't allow past trading days to stop me. Now, I could have re-entered into this trade because I had enough opportunity. I think price was ranging right here for about 2 minutes before it initially took off. So I had time to enter into the trade. But on Fridays, my trading plan is one trade, win or lose, walk away. Because I know how that energy can be on Friday, and you can get in that mode of chasing price real quick. So I could have re-entered back in the trade. I even had it marked up on both of my charts, on both of my funded accounts to re-enter. But something say, yeah, you can make money, but you're gonna make money breaking your rules. So was that really a W day? I rather walk away with a loss, knowing I followed my rules and I executed, than walking away with a win, knowing that I broke my plan and I couldn't accept the fact that I entered too early. And boom, that's my one trade. And I gotta accept that and I gotta walk away. So, even though, we lost some money today, man, we won as far as our mental capital. Our mental capital was definitely filled up today. We definitely got our mental capital up, and we already know what we're gonna back test. We already got the data we're gonna look at. We're gonna review the trades we took on Monday that resulted in the L, and then we're gonna go over these trades today that resulted in the L. Also going to do a weekly cap with y'all over those trades and those days, probably on Sunday, and then we're gonna, see what the news will be looking like for the next trading week ahead. But as I stated at the beginning of the video, I hope everybody had an amazing Friday. I was able to make some money, and and hopefully y'all protected that capital and y'all can show up Monday morning and make some money. But hey, I thank y'all for sitting down and listening to me and going over these trades with me. I appreciate y'all. Please like the video, please share, and please subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And until next time, your girl GC is out.